fun looking at this book.
Yep.
Wow. Many thanks to Nick Papagni for joining us in the last segment here on BVarsity Live. We're at the downtown TBC Media Studios. There is a Kern County game tonight as well. We talked about Bullard and Sanger, which is probably the championship game in the County
Clovis
Metro
West
Athletic
Central's
Conference.
a good game tonight, too.
Yeah, Clovis West Central's playing much better, and it's one of those weird things where, you look at track versus SWYL results early in the year. We talk about how important they are. But you mentioned if Centennial were to win out, I'm not sure how much that Clovis West loss would. If Clovis West finishes third or fourth in the track, they're not going to get seeded ahead of Centennial, even though they beat them back in week 1 because Centennial wins the SWL. Same thing, Frontier beat Central, but if Central, which beat Clovis a couple weeks ago and almost beat Clovis North last week, let's say they win a couple more games, Frontier's not going to get seeded ahead of them, even though they beat them if Central's 3-2 in the track and Frontier went 1-4 in the SWIL. So, league play matters too. All right, tonight in Kern County, Delano at Porterville. Delano, boy, things have gone off the rails for the Tigers. And I should mention, by the way, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, BVarsity game night, we are streaming the big game live on Bakersfield.com and on News Talk 1180 KERN Radio. That would be Liberty at Centennial. So that's the big one. We're going to lead up to that one with these predictions. But we'll start with tonight's game, Porterville and Delano. We'll get the graphics up as soon as we can. But right now, did you get him? I think John said he got him. Okay. Porterville, Delano, any chance for the Tigers tonight?
No, and you look at the record, they're both 2-6, but Porterville obviously plays a much tougher schedule. I don't see Delano winning this game, no.
Yeah, Delano's offense has just been totally off kilter. They shoot that one of their wins against Miramonte a few weeks ago, and they only beat Miramonte by a field goal. Miramonte's lost everybody else by 25, 30 points. So that's as good a sign as anything that Delano's really struggling. I think on the road to that stadium way out there at Granite Hills is like out in the Sequoia Mountains, and I don't see it for Delano tonight. Right. So we both take Porterville. You've got them only 28-14. I have them 33-10 for Porterville.
Sure.
All right. Friday night, 8-man ball. This is the last weekend of the season for 8-man in the Southern section because they go into the playoffs next week. Maricopa Valley Christian. I feel like, what do I have, like an 8-game lead on you for the season or something like that?
Yeah.
As far as predictions, I feel like 6 of those have been Maricopa games.
Probably.
I don't
know what to do with that team.
So we picked the same this week. You finally picked against the Indians. You took Valley Christian. So that's going to be a close game though. I really believe we both have Valley Christian winning in a Coast Valley League game. Could be a playoff eliminator game, by the way, in 8-man football. Team that will definitely be in the 8-man playoffs, defending D1 champion Mojave.
This going to be ugly.
Mojave hasn't been playing as well the last few weeks, but
still going to be ugly.
They're going to beat Academy of Career and Exploration easily.
Those kids probably over at the Academy are probably going to do much greater things than any of us in this building just by going to a high school
not on the 8-man football
Career
field.
and Exploration, but not an 8-man football, guys.
You know what, though? You have Mojave by 64. That's whew. Okay. Burroughs and Oak Hills.
Burroughs.
Hey, Burroughs has won 4 games in a row, folks.
Yeah.
Number one, that makes Garces look better.
With what Nick was talking about, you look at a team that played Garces and played Tehachapi, so they played a schedule up. So, yeah, give it to the Burros. Playing up.
The Burros at home, I like them. Close game over Oak Hills. We'll set up a championship game with Serrano, the Diamondbacks, next week in the Mojave River League. Okay, one more in the southern section.
So what happens? Does a Burrows hit the Diamondback, or does the Diamondbacks?
I think I would take a Diamondback in that fight if we're talking real life. The Bobcats and the Scorpions. There's a good one though. Bobcats and Scorpions. Yeah. What would happen in real life there?
Bobcat eats the scorpion.
Strike? Not if he gets stung in the nose, man.
No, you pop it.
I don't know. A honey badger beats a scorpion because honey badger don't care.
Honey badger
don't care. How come there aren't any honey badger nicknames? We need to get that going. Desert
just in Glendale
scores a ton of points. Boron's had a pretty good season actually, but I like Desert to rack up some points here.
I got it close, but I still got a high scoring game.
Yeah, we both have Desert winning there and moving within a game of an outright Desert Mountain League title. That would clinch a share of the league title for the Scorpions. Moving into the central section. McFarland is at
Cougars move on.
McFarland let us down, man, last week. They could have won this league title out of nowhere, but they lost to Farmersville. Was it Farmersville?
Orange Cove.
Orange Cove last week, thank you. The Orange Cove Titans. But Layton's actually the only team McFarland beat last year. So I like them to take care of business there, as do you. So we haven't had anything different. We do have 3 games different coming up. I think those will all be in the last segment. Let's move into the High Desert League, the penultimate weekend of the High Desert League. By the way, they play their final games next Thursday as an HDL tradition. They will finish next Thursday, November the 5th. Bishop hosting Fraser Mountain. Fraser Mountain scored points, everybody. Give it up. Give it up. Fraser Mountain got a touchdown against Excelsior. We no longer have to talk about them being shut out for the season.
Goodness, that is not a story I want to write.
Yeah, but you know what? Their reward is to take a really, really long bus ride from Fraser Mountain up to Bishop.
What is that, like 4.5 hours?
Yeah, probably pretty close to that.
Yeah.
Pretty close to that. And you might as well be on the backside of the moon, for half of that trip. So I don't see it for Fraser Mountain. Bishop lost to Cal City last week. That's disappointing for them, but I think they rebound in a big way here.
Yeah.
Other HDL game this week is probably the league championship, Cal City and Kern Valley. This is Cal City's final game. They have a bye next week. If the Ravens win here, it will be their 7th win in a row, and they will win the outright HDL title. If Kern Valley wins, they would have to then beat Boron next week to win an outright title. Otherwise, you could have a 3-way tie between Cal City, Kern Valley, and and Bishop, excuse me. So this is a pretty good game, actually, as it turns out. Cal City keeps surprising people. They're on a roll 6 in a row.
I still like the Bronx in this one. I think they're going to, the offense is going to continue rolling. And in the HDL, I really think that in any league that we cover here in Kern County, I think home field advantage really matters in HDL because of the travel. I mean, even these two, as a crow flies, aren't that far away from each other. But driving distance,
you got to come
mess.
Either through Bakersfield or up the 395 and then back through the backside of the Lake Isabella Mountains there. And I don't know. I think that's a great point. If the game was at Cal City, I think I'd take the Ravens. And that's why I think a 3-way tie is a real possibility, because if Kern Valley wins this game, they got to go up to Bishop next Thursday on a short week. They could very easily lose that game and force a 3-way tie. So, stay tuned in the High Desert League race. And Cal City also, I think if they were to win this game, would be the number 2 seed in Division 6 behind Kennedy. So you could have a Cal City Kennedy Division 6 championship game. That could be the case anyway. They might be the 3 seed anyway. Okay, so that's the HDL.
But it's still tough because the HDL team still has to travel regardless of their seed. As we saw Kern Valley, number 1 seed, undefeated, had to go to Fowler and got thumped in the opening round.
Right? Corcoran. Yeah. Let's get through the SSL, and then we'll take our last break. In the SSL this week, Arvin is at Wasco, the 2 0-4 teams in the SSL. These two teams have both won league titles in the last 10 years, and Wasco, has won a league title in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. Not this year. I have to feel like the Tigers at home bounce back and find a way here. I still say there's more talent and more continuity in that program at Wasco.
I do too. It's just one of those games where you got to look at common opponent and how they've been playing lately, and I think Wasco just has a slightly better edge than the Bears do. And
you have this is a really close game, but
I do, and I still think that they will be, and I don't have any I don't have any qualms about that. I think that's the way it's going to be.
By the way, you can find all our predictions bakersfield.com/BVarsity. I write a little preview of each game is a little, but it adds up to a lot on each game, and then Trevor and I give our picks. Elsewhere in the SSL, Shafter is at Cesar Chavez.
I have got my prediction way too close on this. I wish I could go back.
35-21.
I know. I don't. I was in the middle of another phone call.
Do you happen to know Casey Quinn? Because Casey Quinn don't play no games.
No. No, trust me. I've seen Casey Quinn coach twice this year, including last week's thumping over Kennedy, and that guy's got he's got a hand around the neck and foot throttle is down on the metal.
Yeah, absolutely true. So I think Chavez wins big here. I
do too.
They get to
I put
35-21,
and then but I could easily say 52-7 like you did.
At that point, Chavez would have to hope Taft can beat Bakersfield Christian next week. Bakersfield Christian's off this week. The final SSL game is Kennedy at Taft. This is a good one. I'm taking the Wildcats at home, but Trevor, a little surprise here. Got RFK.
Taft seems like Golden Valley to be a team that when they get up against a good defense kind of gets stymied just a little bit. Not a lot, obviously, but just a little bit. And I think that Kennedy is going to come out a little bit fired up because they got thumped so badly by Chavez that I see an upset here.
Well, my question for you here is, does Kennedy have a good defense? And I don't know that the answer is yes to that question on a Division IV level. If the game was in Delano, I might feel differently. I got Taft in a shootout 42-34. What do you think, Lewis?
Wildcats.
He's got the Taft High Wildcats. That would set up a chance for Taft to win a share of the league title against Bakersfield Christian at home next week. Tell you what, we'll take our last break. We'll be back with the city games, with the Bakersfield games, right after this.